I took back host so I can mute people.
Okay, good. We need to mute Sandra Irby, and that should be it. Unless you guys have a question or comments. So what are we going to talk about today? So we're going to talk about the hot news, right? The realtors lost the lawsuit, right? That's the hot news. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? I hope you all do, right? Because it's going to be the big hub, right? People are going to be talking about it. And I'm already receiving emails. I received an email this morning, actually yesterday.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, right. So there was a lawsuit in, I think it was Missouri and a couple other states. And the lawsuit has to do with the way we get paid in our model, right? They say that actually Keller Williams was named in the lawsuit along with Home Services, which is the Warren Buffett group of companies, but we're named in the lawsuit and we lost. The jury said that we collude and set higher commissions. Right? How many of you think that's true? I don't know, right? How many of you think that's really what's going on? I don't know. I mean, doesn't it seem like the standard commission is 5 or 6%, even though we're not supposed to say that? I mean, in a way, maybe. Did we all collude to do that? I don't think so. I think that's just the way the model evolved, right? The beauty of commissions, right, is that they are negotiable, right? So what's going to happen now, right? What's going to happen in the lawsuit? Probably one of a few things. One, we're probably going to appeal, right? The lawsuit is going to be appealed, right? Most likely. That's what NAR said. They're going to appeal the lawsuit. Keller Williams said they're thinking about it, but they're looking into their other avenues. One is we could settle. We could pay the people to go away, right? I think a couple companies did that already, right? Remax and Anywhere, which is Coldwell Banker, and they paid $133 million for these lawsuits to go away, which looking back might be cheaper than 1.7 billion or 1.8 billion, I think, if you round it up. But how is that going to affect you and I today? It's not, right? We're not going to do anything any different, right? We are not going to change our listing commission. No, but we're not the only ones reading this lawsuit, right? Who else is reading it? Our clients and customers, right? And what are they going to say? They're going to say, what does this mean for us? So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. What does this lawsuit mean for us? Is it going to do away with buyer agency or buyer's commission? I doubt it, right? Because I want you to think about a couple things. All those people in the lawsuit, I think there's 266,000 homeowners that all sold their home, right? I don't see people in the lawsuit that didn't sell their home, right? They all achieved their purpose, right? The other thing I want you to think about is think of a jury, right? Think of a jury. If I was an attorney, and I've been on a jury, so I know a little bit about it, and I've been on a few juries. What would you say if I was an attorney I would say, do you know anyone that's a realtor? Right? How many of us don't, how many of us know people that don't know anyone who's a realtor? Right? How many of us really don't know? Because we're everywhere, right? We are everywhere. We, you know, your doctor, his wife's a realtor, right? The accountant, her husband's a realtor. I mean, everyone is somehow touched. So to find 8 people that are unaffected or unaffiliated with any realtors or real estate agents or referral agents or anyone that's ever had a license, I think would be pretty tough. Right? I think it would be hard to find people that don't know realtors or not related to one or haven't dealt with one or whatever. So, and think about if you did get 8 people that didn't know anything about realtors or have any bias, what do they really know about how we work then? What would they know? Just what's presented to them. And here's my opinion on what NAR did that got us into this problem. They required us to put $1 in the MLS as a commission, a minimum commission of $1, because I don't think you can put 1 cent. Right? I think it's the minimum commission you can put in the MLS is $1. So $1 cost us $1.8 billion, right? Why not just make it 0? Right? Why not make it $0 in there? Because I don't really care. Honestly, I'm still going to sell property. I'm still going to represent buyers. I just got to be careful. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to be retrained on what to say. That's really what's going to happen. We were told a year or so ago that we should never say to a buyer, our service is free, right? Because it's not free. Somebody pays for it, right? Hopefully it's not free, right? Somebody pays you to sell them a house. Do you think that's going to change? Well, according to this lawsuit, oh my goodness, all those sellers were taken advantage of. Well, let me ask you this. If I list a house today and I charge 5% and I sell it to myself, right? There's no other agent involved. And I do single agency representation. What's my contract say I can charge the seller? 5%, right? What am I going to charge him? 5%. I'm going to take both sides. Do you think I'm going to cut my commission? Because now I got to do the other side's work as well. Right? Am I going to cut the commission? No. Could I have charged 5% and offer 0 buyer agency commission? Absolutely. Right? Let me ask you this. What's in the best interest of your sellers? Because here's the conversation, right? Right, here's the role play. Hey, Mr. Seller, great to see you. Yeah, I'm here. I want to list your house. We want to get it sold, right? He said, well, Walt, stop right there. I don't want to pay a buyer's agent commission. Okay. Right? You don't have to. You don't have to pay a buyer's agent. But I'm still charging you 5%. Right? Because that means more work for me. And I've got to do more things and I've got to take on more of the problems. And I'm not going to have someone that's working with me to get your property sold. But here's what I say to you, Mr. Seller. I said, I want you to think about that. NAR lost the lawsuit, right? There is a number of ways that we can do this. And it's always had this choice, right? This is nothing new, right? So we have a number of ways that you can do this. And so you don't want to pay a buyer agent. So let's talk about that, right? And bear with me, right? Because I might stray a little bit from the real estate field. What do you do, Mr. Seller? What do you do for a living? What do you do? Oh, you work at Home Depot. Great. Great. So when you go to work today, are you working for free? Well, no, because that would be a day off if you worked for free, or you wouldn't work for free, right? Would you go in if they said to you, you know what? We can sell all this stuff online now. We don't need you. So just come on in, put your clock in, and maybe we'll pay you, but we're thinking about it. Would you go to work? Probably not, right? I'd rather, if I'm not going to get paid, might as well stay at home, go to the beach, go fishing, whatever you like to do, right? So, Mr. Seller, let me ask you this. The market's changing, right? Right? The market is, it's not that fire market that we had in 2021 and 22, right? And 20, right? It's not that real estate boom that we have. How bad do you want to sell your house? Because I might need a little help selling your house, right? I'm a great agent. I know that, but I don't know if I have the buyer for your home. Because maybe your home has some problems that we got to overcome and obstacles. Maybe you're not the oceanfront shack for 100,000. Maybe you're the oceanside shack with 20 other shacks for sale with no view and in a flood zone. So I'm gonna need a little help on your house, right? So what kind of help do I need? Well, I need more people to show your house, right? I need more people to look at your house. So let me ask you, if we're not going to pay the buyer's agent, I mean, you just told me you wouldn't go to work if you didn't get paid, right? What's going to make him show your house? Right? If we're not, or if we're telling the guy, oh, bring your people, right? Bring your people, show my house, but I'm not going to pay you. How many of those people you think we're going to get to show up? I know I wouldn't. I can tell you right now, I don't care what the damn code of ethics says. I'm not showing up if I'm not getting paid. Right? There's nothing that's going to force me to work for free. Right? They just can't do it. I'm not going to do it. Right? So what's going to happen? We're going to have less people looking at your house. That's what's going to happen. That's the real world, Mr. Seller. So we can go by the old model where we offer to pay. And the thing is, it's my commission. It's 5% that you agreed to pay me. And I'm agreeing to give part of it away. Unfortunately, I got to ask your permission to do that. And if you tell me no, okay, that's fine. I'm still getting 5% because I still got twice as much work now than I had if I was just the listing agent working with another agent with a mutual goal of getting your property to settlement. So that's great. Well, kind of sucks, I think. I think you're being stupid. Or no, I'm sorry. I don't want to offend you. I think you're being naive, right? To really believe that we're going to get more buyers looking at your house because we're not willing to pay their agent. But that's okay. You can believe that, right? You can believe that all day long. But I want to tell you something. We'll do it your way. We'll list the property. We won't offer a buyer's agent commission. I'll put 0 in there all day long. But in 30 days, when we haven't even had a showing of your house, I want you to remember this conversation, right? Because the conversation is, I told you so, right? Maybe we will sell it, right? Maybe we'll get someone to come and right away. And I am happy to get both sides of the commission. Actually, I'm sorry, I can't even say that. I'm happy to get the commission, right? Because there's no both sides, because you already told me there's only one side. It's me. And it's buyer beware. Let them deal with the problems of your property. We'll disclose anything that we know about, but we might as well sell it as is as well, right? So we don't have to deal with any problems, right? And let's see if that happens. Because here's the real world, Mr. Seller. We're going to put your property in the MLS. We're going to offer 0 commission. And the number of agents interested now in showing your property went from 100,000 to 1,000, right? Because maybe there's a new model out there where they get paid a salary by the by the buyer to show property. Great, right? Great. But we just went from 100,000 to 1,000. So let me ask you this. When I got something really hot, right? Like, let's say your house is beautiful, brand new, and we're selling it at a great price, and we think we're going to have tons of people looking at it. But all of a sudden, instead of 100,000 agents pushing to sell your house, only got 1,000 agents trying to sell your house. Do you think we're going to get top dollar? Are we going to get the highest price? Are we going to get the most ready, willing, and able buyers with 1,000 versus the 100,000 that we had before? Right? I mean, really, are we going to get that? And you say, well, you're a realtor. You you have a code of ethics. You have to show all buyers properties that they're interested in. Yeah, well, I'm your agent, right? So yeah, I'll do that. I'll show any buyer. I'll just tell them, hey, I don't represent you. And I'll sell them the house. But let's say I'm a buyer's agent. And let's say you just said that to me. Hey, Mr. Buyer's agent, you've got to show my house because you're a realtor and that's part of the code of ethics. And you know what I say? Screw those realtors. I'm not going to be one anymore. And I don't give a shit about your code of ethics because I don't have to follow it now. So I don't have to show them your house or even talk or mention it. In fact, when I send out my list of homes that people are going to look at, I'm going to uncheck yours because I looked at the commissions and I don't work for free. So no, I'm not showing your house and I won't even mention your house, and go ahead and sue me if that's what you want to do because I don't work for you. Go ahead. Do what you got to do. Put your money where your mouth is. All right. Let's see if you really have the gumption to do it. Right. Go ahead. Right. I mean, because that's really what this lawsuit's all about. Right? You don't want to pay me to do my job of trying to help you get an offer on your house. So guess what? You're going to get what you wanted. I'm not showing your house. Oh, but that's the code of ethics. I'm not a realtor. Right? I quit. I told him I quit. I joined Redfin. We all quit together. Right? We don't have to abide by that. Is that really what's in the consumer's best interest? Right? Doesn't the model we have now work for everyone? Right? We sell the buyer pays. You know what? If this is such a bad model, when HUD forecloses on a home, why do they offer to pay me a commission? I mean, that's the government, right? There's the government offering to pay me a commission to sell their home. Why are they doing it, but you don't want to do it? Because you're smarter than they are? Right? Right? Really? Don't we want people to come in your house? Don't we want a lot of people to come in your house? Why would I change my model? Okay, so they won the lawsuit. Who cares? It's not what's best for my client. Who cares? It's not going to change the way I do business today. Maybe It's going to change the way I say things tomorrow. Right? Maybe I say, buyer's agents don't work for free. You have the option to pay one, but my professional opinion, what you're paying me for, is that we should pay a buyer's agent to sell your house, because I don't know if I can do it on my own and get you the highest and best price. Right? I don't know if I can do that. I know I'm good, but I don't know if I'm that good, because I have other things working against me, like other agents that are offering to pay the buyer's agent. You know, maybe they become the minority, but guess what? They become very popular with buyers and buyers agents. Right? So maybe we have some new models, right? Maybe we have some new models that we're, you know, I'm going to pick on Redfin again. So Redfin, if you're not familiar, the way they work is you go to work with them and they pay you a salary. They say, oh, don't worry, Walt, come work for us and we'll pay you $120,000 a year, and we'll provide you with the buyers and the support and all you need, and you'll get a paycheck no matter what. Great. I love it. And then they call you up to share property. Yeah, I'm busy today. I got a golf appointment. Well, tomorrow's my birthday. Yeah, don't bother me. Right. You know what? I stubbed my toe playing soccer with the grandkids. I don't feel like showing property today. Thanks for the paycheck. Right. After a while, how long do you think they're going to put up with that? And it's already started. It's already started. Because you know what Redfin just announced? That they're going to go to a commission-based model, where when you sell property, you get paid a commission. Oh boy, that's new. Not. Right? That's not new. That's what we do already. Right? Let's see. I think we got a chat.
I had a bad experience working with a Redfin agent before. They just weren't very responsive, and
Why should they? They get paid anyway.
right.
Right? What's the motivation for you guys to go sell a property today? Is it to pay taxes? Right? Is that your motivation? Yeah, I saw Justin Parker. Isn't that his name? Justin from the Parker Group.
Yeah.
I saw him there was a brokers roundtable at the DAR convention, and he's saying, yeah, we shouldn't be forced to pay buyers agents commission. I said to him, yeah, I don't agree with that statement. I said, is that really what's best for your client? Right? Are you really going to get more people showing your properties when you guys cut the commission to the buyer's agent? Really? Because what freaking world are you living in, and what are you smoking, bud? Because you need you to share it with me a little bit, because I don't get it. You know what motivates people? Carrots. Right? Somebody stick a carrot in front of you. Right? How do we get horses to move forward? We put a carrot in front of them. Right? How we just whip the carrot, or whip the horse. I mean, forget the carrot. Right? You just whip the horse and make him go. How long is that going to work? Where he kicks you? Right? Right? We get more with honey than we do with vinegar. And if you don't think there's truth to that, right? How many of you like to hang around with mean people? How many of you like people that go around and just say, you're an asshole? You like that? Right? I don't hang out with those people. You know what I do? I punch them in the face. That's what I do. They don't hang out with me for long. I don't like them. Get away. You know how to change your environment? Get away from negative people. And you might say, well, Walt, you're kind of negative. Okay. I don't think I'm negative. I think I'm just trying to drive the point across. And the point is, the model we have works. Maybe we're just going to change the way we say a few things. Maybe we can offer zero commission. Maybe Keller Williams does say to us, you don't have to offer a buyer agency commission now, but you have the choice to do it. Do you think I'm going to really put zero in that box? And that's best for my client? Here's my suggestion. You do it and then give them my card. Because when they call me, I'm not going to do it, because I'm going to tell them what's in their best interest and what's going to get more agents looking at their property and what's going to get them a higher price when we get an offer. Right? Think about it. Think about all those 266,000 people that sold their homes. How many of them would have sold their home without a buyer's agent? And what would the true number have been that they got? Would they get 97% is what they get with a realtor? Or would they get 84% of what they get without a realtor? Right? Do the math. Right? Yeah, Mr. Seller, do the math. You want me to do it for you? It's not that hard. Right? Okay, 84%. That's $84,000 on your $100,000 property versus if we had paid the other agent to help us sell your house, we would have got 98,000, although maybe, yeah, your net probably wouldn't have been too much different as far as expenses because I'm not cutting my commission. Right? Or maybe I did it for 4% instead of 5%. Okay. So you saved $980 by getting 84,000. Right. So let's round it up to 85,000 you got versus you got 97,000 when we offered to pay the other agent. Now I'm no stock genius, but when I compare 85,000 to 97,000, I don't have to win the Wheel of Fortune to figure out which one's more. Right? Come on. And that's what this lawsuit is, right? That's what this lawsuit is. Oh yeah, I would have been better off with 85,000 because you forced me to pay the buyer's agent. Grow up. That's not how it works. That's not the real world. Are you motivated to give all your money away? No, maybe you're a billionaire. Great, right? But you're probably not in that top 5%. I know I'm not. I'm not a billionaire, right? I'm not giving my money away. Yeah. Oh, I just go in the front yard and throw $100 bills around. As trucks go by, as the trash truck go by, I throw $100 bills at them. Well, you're an idiot. I don't do that. That's not how the world works. I need to buy milk and bread, right? I need to pay the baby for baby shoes, right? The baby needs a new pair of shoes. I'm not throwing that money out the window or flushing it down the toilet. I'm motivated. Why do you think there are so many realtors? Because you don't make any money? Right? Do you really think that's true? Now, do we go in cycles? Is it an up and down business? Is it an easy business? Are there years that we make more money than other years? Are there years when we make less? Yeah. Guess what? We're in one of them. I'm not making as much as I made last year. Right? But I'm still making money. Right? It's still a good business. Right? It's still easy entry. And if I'm true and honest and a halfway decent salesperson, I'm going to go out there and be able to get more listings and sell more buyers. You know why agents fail? Because they don't do the work. Well, gosh, I made so much money in 2022. Grow up. That year was an anomaly. It's not normal. Right? People don't like the word accountability and people don't like the word holding you to your word, right? Oh, I got in the business. Gosh, you know what? I really need to make 100,000 this year, but I really don't like to call people. Yeah, it's like one time the bank came to me and said, "Oh, we don't like your loans. You need to pay us off." They said, "What's your plan?" I reached in my pocket and I pulled out a lottery ticket and I said, "I'll let you know on Friday." Right? Guess what? I lost. I didn't win the lottery on Friday. Right? But I had to go out there and bust my butt to pay them. Right? I didn't just sit around and wait to be an order taker, because honestly, AI could do that for you. All this talk about AI, right? AI, what? What is AI going to do to convince a buyer to work with you? Oh, well, I got AI on my phone. Oh, you're so smart. Right? I love AI, right? It's very entertaining. It's kind of like Facebook, right? It's something to look at, something to talk to, but it's not making me a lot of money. Right? Maybe it will. Maybe it'll cut out the need for these Zoom calls, right? They'll say, "Oh, we watched that Zoom call recording of Walt. Now we're just going to take the best of that Zoom call and we'll just put it out there for people to watch. And we'll take his face and put a smiley face up there instead." Yeah, is that going to connect with you? Right? We're a people business. And we got a lot of people trying to get in our pockets because you know what? We've had a really good 5-year run. Right? We really have had a good 5-year run. Right? Maybe the 6th year is okay. It's still good. Right? Hopefully we saved for a rainy day. Right? Because it's not all rainbows and flowers every day. But it is what you make it, right? I mean, I've seen some agents make $1 million a year. Where else are you going to do that? Right? Where else? Seriously, where else are you going to do that? Help me, because I'm like ready. I'm looking out the door. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do instead of real estate? Where am I going to make this money? Oh, well, gosh, the government will take care of me. Yeah, right. Right. Oh, I'm going to live on Social Security. Yeah, right. Really, who's going to take care of you? Who's going to help you in this business we're in? Right? People say, "Oh, I had an agent one time." Cracks me up. I had an agent one time, and actually it was a student, right? And she took my class and she passed the real estate exam. And she called me up and she said, "Walt, I'm interviewing brokers." I'm like, "Great." She says, "I want a 90-10 split out the door, out coming in the gate. I want a 90-10 split." And I looked at her and I said, "Why? What makes you so good? Do you know how to write a contract? Do you know how to get listings? Do you know how to do the marketing and all that? I mean, are you Wonder Woman? What makes you worth 90%?" She goes, "Well, that's just what I want." I said, "Yeah, I want to win the lottery, but that's probably not going to happen." I said, "You're not going to work with us or me." This was before I was with Keller Williams, so I don't want to get in trouble. Right? This is when I had my own brokerage. I said, "Look, here's the way it works at my brokerage. If I don't make money off of you, why do I want you?" And I'm sure you guys have heard me say this before. If I don't make money, why am I going to lose money for you? Why am I going to spend my money to give it to you? It's a team effort, right? There's no I in team, right? There's no I in team. You want to work on your own? I told her, I said, "You know what? Hang your license somewhere, You probably won't get 90-10, but God bless you if you do. And become a broker and go out there and rent an office and pay for the license and do all those fees it takes to run a brokerage. And you can get 100%. And, you know, someone said to me, well, I saw this company and they offer 100% commission. How does that work? I said, well, you pay as you go. They said, well, what does that mean? I said, well, what it means is that if you sell something or not, you got to pay them so much a month, right? Maybe you pay them $600 a month to be with their brokerage. And maybe you pay them $1,000 a month for an office. And maybe every time you make a copy, they charge you 20 cents. And maybe you pay for all your own cards and advertising and everything you do for your business, because it is your business, you pay for, right? You don't have to. So they're going to give you whatever you sell and make, they're going to give it to you. But if you have a bad month, you still owe them $2,600. And if they have 10 agents doing that, they're making $26,000 a year to cover, or $26,000 a month to cover their expenses. Could you do that with a little teeny office and a copier that someone, and could I pay someone to sit at the front desk and help me out and maybe help you a little bit? Right? At $300,000 a year, I could probably afford to pay someone to help me a little bit. Right? Pay for my office. Right? How much does it cost me to rent an office? $1,000 a month, right? Or if you want to pay for yours, we get a bigger office and you pay $1,000, I pay $1,000, right? How hard is that, right? 100%. So getting back, right? Turning the thing. What's the lawsuit going to do to us? It's just going to make us look at different models. Here's the beauty. All commissions are negotiable. That's not new. They're just forcing us to maybe allow that happen. Maybe all commissions aren't 5 or 6% within our brokerage, right? Okay. Maybe they're 10%, right? Let's raise our commission, right? Let's go for 10, right? It's just going to make it, and here's the other thing is, and I thought about this, right? They're saying, well, in other countries, they sell and list properties for less money. And my response is, didn't you just tell me we're trying to get away from antitrust and everyone doing it the same way? And now you're telling me you want me to do it like all the other countries? Aren't you telling me exactly what you're telling me I shouldn't have done? Now you're telling me I need to do it? Am I missing something here? Did I miss, I'm scratching my head. So you want me to do like they do in Europe and 2% and you don't pay a buyer's agent? Didn't you just tell me you wanted it to be fair and competitive and the best horse wins the race? Now you're telling me I got to slow down because the others aren't running as fast as I am? Really? So it's okay for you to say it. But if we do it, it's not fair, right? You don't, that lawsuit, they don't really care what's in the best interest of buyers and sellers. That's a money grab. Why do you think those lawyers went out the next day and actually not even within hours, they filed lawsuits against the other big brokerages because they want to try to get money from them, right? $1.8 trillion settlement. Now keep in mind, that's what they're proposing. The judge hasn't ratified that settlement and they could appeal. Or would they settle for less? Do you think their attorneys won't take $100 million instead? All right. And do you think, how much do you think that's the real question. How much do you think those attorneys are really getting? And is that really in the best interest of all those people? Really, $266,000, they each get a check for $400 and the attorneys get a check for 20 million. Yeah, that's really fair and equitable. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Attorney. You did a great job for me. Good job. Right, good job. So who's got any questions, right? Why do I have to do all the talking? Right, come on. Throw me a softball. No, throw me a fastball. Right? Let's make it competitive. Right? Come on. What do you guys think? I'm not the only one here on this call. What do you guys think? Right? Do you think what I'm saying is BS? Right? Do you think that I'm wrong? I'd love to hear it. Because honest, you know what? My motto, live and learn. Right? Live and learn. Teach me something. Show me where I'm wrong. Show me where our model doesn't really benefit the buyer and the seller. Oh, we don't want win-win. We just want the seller to win. Really? Do you really think that is what's going to happen? And don't be afraid. I'm not going to bite your head off.
Hey,
Right?
Walt,
Yes.
I would assume this appeal is going to take several years, wouldn't you imagine?
Oh, they're saying at least 2 years for appeals and whatnot.
So nothing would be changed prior to the appeals anyway. It doesn't go into effect. In theory, it wouldn't go into effect immediately, whatever they're proposing that would go into effect.
No.
Yeah.
No, because there's going to be an appeal, or the only thing they might do, Danny, is make the MLS take out that $1 minimum.
Right.
It might go to zero. Oh my God, that's an earthquake. Right? What's the difference? $1 versus zero? Right? What's the difference? Nothing. Who's the host on this Zoom call? Can you share with me? Can you make me co-host? Because I want to share.
Try to share screen.
I want to share my screen.
All right, you're good to share.
Okay, let's see if I can find what I want. La la la. Of course, I can't find it. All right, bear with me a second. I gotta pull it up. I gotta shrink you guys for a minute. I gotta pull up what I want. And here it is. And I want to get rid of this and this. Oh, come on. All right. That's not working. Anyway, there we go. Hallelujah. I'm going to have to take a Danielle class here. Let's see. Now I got to get back to Zoom. See if I can share this. There it is. Boom. Can you see my question? See my screen? Can you see that? Right? Do you see what it says? Burnett versus question and answers. All right. So I got this email today or actually, I think it came yesterday. I just read it today. This is the email from Maryland Realtors about the lawsuit. And look how it starts. It ain't over till it's over. Right? And they go in to say, and after 11 days trial, right, the 8-person jury in Kansas, Missouri, right, let's see, they found the defendants liable, okay? And it goes into Yogi Berra as the one that said it ain't over till it's over, right? But here, let's get to the bottom. Look, here it says, but let's be clear, this matter is not close to being final. NAR will appeal the liability finding because they stand by the fact that NAR rules specifying that compensation is always negotiable serves as the best interest of consumers. Support market-driven pricing and advance business competition. NAR remains optimistic that they will ultimately prevail. In the interim, NER will ask the courts to reduce the damages awarded by the jury. Right? It says in court, NER presented evidence that consumers are better off in business competition and able to thrive because of our rules and how well local MLS broker marketplaces function. In fact, NER comparative compensation rules for local MLS broker compensations ensures efficient, transparent, and an equitable marketplace. Realtors are consumer advocates working tirelessly every day to help our clients achieve the American dream. Right? So that's true. So here's the Q&A. Right? Here's what I wanted to get at. What are the next steps and the timing? It says, this matter is not close to being final, as we will appeal the jury's verdict and we remain confident we will ultimately prevail. In the interim, we will ask the courts to reduce the damage awarded by the jury due to the nature of the appeal. This case most likely will not be concluded for several years. Right? So what will the basis for the NAR's appeal? What will be the basis for the appeal? So they can't speak to specifics until that comes. Okay, great. Is there anything realtor brokers, state, local associations, or MLSs need to do differently because of this verdict? And it says not because of this verdict, but NAR has emphasized for many years two important things. One is the use of buyer representation agreements, which maximize transparency by putting all agreements in writing to ensure clarity and understanding, as all members are obligated to do pursuant to NAR Code of Ethics. Right? So what they just say, use a buyer agency agreement. Have I not been saying that forever? Right? These agreements formalize professional working relationships with clients and detail what services consumers are entitled to and what the buyer's agent expects for their clients in return. Yeah, we expect a fee. We tell them, we're going to help you buy a house. So that's the number one thing they say. Use a buyer agency agreement. Why? Because you have a written contract that says you're going to get paid. Right? Here's the number two thing. It's also an imperative for members to continue to express that commissions are negotiable and set between brokers and their clients. Explain how the local MLS broker marketplace promotes equity, transparency, and market-driven pricing for consumers, and persistently communicates the incredible value agents who are realtors, excuse me, provide. Right? Sell your service. What's your value proposition? Okay, so there's the two things. Explain your value proposition, and number two, get it in writing. I don't think that's too hard to do. I do that every time anyway, right? If I write a contract, the first agreement they sign is a buyer agency agreement. If I'm in Delaware, in Maryland, I have to do it more upfront. So maybe it's different, right? Okay, it's a little different, but not a lot. Not a lot. I still want a representation agreement, because here's what could happen if you don't have one. You go to settlement, it's settlement day, and the buyer says, well, you know what, I'm not going to pay you now. And it's in your best interest to probably not get paid on my behalf. And we didn't really sign anything, so go ahead, sue me. That's what happens if you don't have a buyer agency agreement. Then you call me up, Walt, they said they're not going to pay me. Oh, okay, well, here, send me your buyer agency agreement. Well, I didn't get one. Never mind. You might as well go to lunch, because we're done. Right? We're done. There's nothing else to talk about because you didn't follow the rule of having an employment agreement, which actually ethically NAR requires all real estate agreements to be in writing, and that includes the buyer agreement. Right? So sell yourself up front, right? What does the future of buyer representation look like as a result of the verdict? The verdict does not require a change in our rules, but if class action attorneys had it their way, buyer representation would be very much at risk because many first-time home buyers, among others, couldn't afford to pay the representation out of pocket. It's important that members take every opportunity to express how they are experts who guide consumers through the financial, legal, and community complexities of buying or selling a home. So if they did away with buyer agency, or if they said, oh, we're not going to allow you to split commissions, we could still get paid. You would write. Yeah, so here we'd say, hey, Mr. Buyer, listen, I need you to sign this agreement so I can represent you and help you. That hires me, right? And you sign in here saying, I'm going to get paid this amount, right? I want 2.5%, not of the MLS. I just want you to pay me 2.5% of the final sales price, right? Well, gosh, suppose they don't offer to pay that. Well, would you like me to ask the seller to pay it anyway? Because we could do that, right? We could, if you direct me to try to get my fee from the seller, we can put that in the contract. Doesn't matter what the MLS says, right? Because all commissions are negotiable, and our offer says that they'll pay me on your behalf. Remember, compensation doesn't equal representation. So if you want to do that, Mr. Buyer, we can do that. And I know how to do that. I have the forms already, and I've done it before, and it's really not that big of a deal unless they say no. And if they do, then maybe there's other alternatives, right? Maybe there's other alternatives. And then maybe if they're a savvy buyer, they say, like what? Right? So maybe we have new models, right? Maybe we have a new model that says, and this one's just going to crack you up, right? Here's the new model. All right, Mr. Buyer, don't worry about it if they don't pay us at settlement. Really, don't worry about it. Because here's what we're going to do. At settlement, if they don't agree to pay us, you can just sign a note. So I'm going to take my commission over the next 5 years, and you're going to pay me monthly $500 a month plus 9% interest. And I'll just collect that, and I'm going to put it as a second mortgage on your house that you're buying. And you're just going to make payments to me. And here's all the consumer protection paperwork you got to sign for me to do that. So now don't worry about it, because it's not going to cost you any money. It's just a little extra payment you're going to have to make. And you can pay it off anytime without penalty, right? No prepayment penalty. Yeah, that's really in the consumer's best interest. But we already had that goofy company doing that, right? Oh, here's $1,000, and if you list or sell your home within the next 30 years, you've got to pay me 3%, and I'm putting a lien against your property that does that, right? And oh my God, the attorney general got all up in the air because someone did that. Right? You kind of forced them to do it, right? So, we'll figure out a better way. Would NAR ever consider changing the cooperative compensation rule? And it says the rule has always been in place to protect and serve the best interest of consumers, support market-driven pricing, and advance business competition. NAR consistently reviews and considers evolving its rules in ways that respond in the industry and best serves the consumer. So what they're telling you right there, yeah, they'll change it. Do you expect the plaintiff to seek an injunction? They said they can't predict. Does NAR have the funds to pay the damages? NAR is going to appeal and has the funds to postpone, which allows us to proceed with an appeal, right? While appeals will take years, we are confident we will ultimately prevail. Is there a scenario where NAR would consider settling? And it says, yeah, they're always open to settlements, right? They're always open to that. So what did they just tell you? They just told you what I told you. Nothing's really going to change a whole lot right now. We're going to figure it out. So don't panic. Don't stop working with buyers. Don't stop your listing presentation. Just explain it. Talk about it. Talk about the options and what's best. AI can't do that. AI can't appeal to your seller or buyer's emotions, but you can, right? Hey, Mr. Seller, would you work if you didn't get paid? Do you think AI is going to ask him that question? Hey, Mr. Buyer, I'll work with you, but it's not free. But we can ask the seller to pay it if that's what you'd like, right? Is that the end? Haven't we already been doing that? Isn't this lawsuit just media hype about maybe we should change business a little bit, or maybe we should change the way we do, or consumers should have the choice? Haven't they always had a choice? So here's how we're going to end it. Think about it. Think about what I said. Let's debate it. You know what? I love to debate. Because you know what happens when we debate? I learn something. Maybe I learn that you're a little different from me. Maybe you learn that I'm a little different from you. Maybe we compromise and make things work. Maybe we change our models to make things better. But unless we have those discussions, we're just being pointed at and accused of doing things we really haven't done. Think about it, right? Think about it. That's all I ask. Think about it, right? And if you have a better solution, call me. I want to hear it. I love those calls. Call me. Let's talk about it, right? Call me. Let's discuss where you're having a problem, right? Because so far, pretty much seems like we're going to be doing it the same way we have been doing it, because that's really what's in the best interest of our clients. Is technology going to replace me? Not today. Not today. So don't let all that noise, right? All that noise in the background, lawsuits, AI, don't let that get in your head, because you still got a job to do. And go out there and do it. Until next month, see you guys.
Thanks, Walt.
Thank you guys. See ya.